Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yom the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dark Souls 3 Part 1. I promised this would be coming and here it is. I am officially bringing you the first part in our series. We'll be playing this game to completion, and if you guys want, I'll be doing New Game Plus as well. Without further ado, let's go. Welcome to the Cemetery of Ash. Oh. Oops. Over here we have a soul of a deserted corpse. That's what it was. Soul of a deserted corpse. One of the more minor parts or souls of the game. Not really worth a whole lot, but worth just enough for it to be worth picking up. I suggest it. So you don't want to miss anything. Everything is valuable. This whole base level is just a tutorial and such. It's just got a bunch of tutorial things that it says, but I've already played through this game in order to bring you guys this walkthrough, so I'm not just a noob. If you guys want to take the time to look at that, go ahead. I won't be going through all that because that'd make a very long and fairly empty video for you guys. Getting reaccustomed to the controls here. If you guys have been wondering why I kept pressing random buttons at the beginning, is because I was trying to remember all the controls. It's been a little bit since I've played this. Not too long. Not long enough to where I ain't gonna know what's going on, but long enough to where, you know, some things have slipped me. But back in the groove. Come here. There we go. And he's dead. Titanite scale. Titanite scales are really important for upgrading special weapons. Not exactly late game weapons, but just weapons you pick up from special drops. Only like guaranteed drops or special pickups can only be upgraded with Titanite scales. That's Twinkling Titanite. Twinkling Titanite's the one you want to keep. Titanite scales are for... I don't know, just read it. That'd be much smarter than talking about stuff I'm too stupid to remember. Weapons forged by soul transpositions can only be reinforced by Titanite of the same kind, so it's to get to +4. It's +4, 5, and 6. Or no, it's... Weapons to +4. Yeah. Titanite scales are pretty cool. Titanite scales are used for upgrading boss weapons. That's the one I was looking for. Boss weapons, not just any weapon. They upgrade boss weapons. Sorry about that. Boss weapons are the... Wanted to take those. It's good to save those, though, because they're not exactly popular among enemy drops. Down here, we have a little... Oh, I missed. Firebombs. Now, you don't want to use your firebombs against this next guy. He's weak to fire in his second stage, but if you just do what I do, he'll be super easy. Don't want to die. Oh, I missed. We'll come back for that. I will be picking up corpse drops. I'm not one of those YouTubers that's just like, I'll only pick up guaranteed drops only, because that hinders my gameplay, and then the drops that I will get will be pretty common. It's not like, there's this thing called the curse of YouTube, right? What lets players play, they tend not to get the more epic drops. So it's not like you guys really have to worry about me getting something that you won't be able to get. Anything I get, you can get, even if it takes one or two 2 more tries than what it takes for me. It's all easy. It's all super easy stuff. Super easy. No worries at all. So with that being said, let's start the first boss fight of this game. Super easy. When you pull the sword out, just literally start wailing on the boss. No holds barred. Gets you some really good early damage. Myself, see? Dodge. Tap. Super easy boss fight in my opinion. Coiled sword. And unfortunately that item's not a weapon that we can use right now. You'll know what I mean later. I mean, unless you already know what I mean, in case you're just watching this for the fun of it. Just to see an just to see an aspiring YouTuber grow into what could be mediocre. Resting in a bonfire gets you the resting animation. I apparently did not rest at that other bonfire. I just lit it. I am blind, apparently. It's little mistakes like that that'll get you killed. This next area is super easy. Just littered more with those starting tutorial area guys. Up here's the broken straight sword. Not exactly a useful weapon unless you're like a deprived. Come on. Oh, I want to parry. Come on. Ooh. Oh. I'll get another chance. But here we have Homeward Bones. Homeward Bones, very useful for scouting boss fights or just getting out of the way from sticky situations that you don't really want to be in. I use Homeward Bones a lot in my normal playthroughs. Hi diddly hi, neighbor. Kicking never works that well for me. Nice. Now over here, we've got this guy. He just kind of chilling on the edge of the world. God, you're ugly. You, ugly. Very ugly. Super ugly. Didn't drop anything, so it's cool. Ooh, shiny. Fading soul. Yeah, these guys drop a lot of souls. You have a ton of soul packets by the time this game's done. A ton. That or you do what I do and you just use them all instantly. I tend to recover all my souls. I die. I'm not saying I don't die so I don't ever lose my souls. No, I just always go back. Ember over here. Over here we have the east-west shield. The reason I took these guys out first is because they'll come attack you as soon as you get this. So you want to take them out first because they're not very friendly. They're just not friendly at all. Now up here, that guy there, the master, he is super easy to take care of. Like, super easy. Just like, whoop. Come on. Ow. Oh no. Normally super easy. Just gonna. Come on. Come at me, bro. Come at me. Just gonna. There we go. He drops some important stuff. So what you're gonna want to do is if you want to fight him this early in the game, that's great and all, but I don't recommend it. What you want to do is you want to go and quit the game and then re-enter the game, because that will allow you to pick up his stuff from where he left off. Because when you quit the game or you rest at a bonfire, it resets the position of the enemies. So when you kill that guy doing that, it just loads him right back up where he left off. Only he's dead, so you get his stuff for like no work. Or you do what I did and you mess up a little bit and have to kind of maneuver in a specific way to get it to work. You know, it just depends. Doesn't matter, I'm putting it on there. It's a nice sword, but I can't use it right now. How much does it take? It's my dex. My dex isn't high enough. It's a good, katanas are good dex weapons. The katanas are great for dex users. Early game dex users definitely want to grab the katanas. Unless you're going for one of those super OP magic builds for dex. And then you just use the paired twin blades. And we embed the Firelink sword. Or the coiled sword as it's called in your inventory. And there we go. We've unlocked Firelink. Now, for those of you who don't really like NPC chats, you can just skip this. I'll try to not take too long, but, you know, we're not ending the video here. We will be going on to, then some more discoveries around the place, and then we'll be ending it. So, unless you already know all of that, I suggest you stick around. But if you do, I guess right here is where we'll end the video with you. Bye-bye. Oh, hey, little nod there. Okay. For those of you who stuck around, we're going to start talking NPCs, and I'm going to show you the best loot places that we've got right here in Firelink Shrine. So, with that said, let's go.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end I am at thy side. Ashen one, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen one, bring me souls plucked from their vessels. Ashen one, sovereign. I'm Ashen.
Okay.
Very well. Then
You
touch
can
the
level
blood
up using this
with
lady.
nourishment.
She is the firekeeper. You can use her to level up as long as you've got the souls to pay for it. So with my souls, I'm going to be getting enough dexterity to use that katana and a little bit more health.
Farewell, Ashen one. May the flames
Yada, yada.
guide thee.
Yeah, she doesn't get much more interesting until later in the game. But yeah, now I have my katana, and I'm happy, because katanas are cool. But yeah, you use her to level up, and if you really wanted to, you could go ahead and use your soul packets here, and use them to get as much leveling as you can done. I'll do that off camera though, later, because that takes up time.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. But we're talking true legends, with the metal to link the fire. Not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think?
Collapse. What is this weird glitch I'm getting? I'm so confused. Is it
What
just
a
fun
sick
talking?
joke. Asking us to seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moldering threat. We're talking true.
Not even fit to lick their boots, yeah. Hawkwood the Deserter. I will explain his story later. I'll explain lore and stuff that I've found out as we go. As of right now, this is just Hawkwood the Deserter. That's all we need to know. The Firekeeper, and we got another special little character way over here. Very important guy, this one. He is the hero of all heroes. Mainly for the fact
thou
that...
unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Cornland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, this sad cadaver, no need to be coy. Have a closer look. Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast-fading flame must be linked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a Colossus.
Colossus.
Now, do not be away overlong.
That guy can transpose boss souls into weapons. He makes the boss weapons. That's the guy that makes the boss weapons. Yep, that's why he's important. Ooh, fat roll. Ooh, what's up with that? Let's see, what's my wait. Oh. What's going on? What's with you? Fat roll is stupid. Okay, this will make that jump later easier anyways, so it's all good. Let's just keep talking to people.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont? No?
Now this lady is a merchant. She will sell you stuff, and she'll sell you boss clothes and armor later in the game once you start defeating more enemies. She'll sell you their equipment and such. She also sells a few standard weapons. Nothing to be really impressed with, but useful if you're just kind of making an all-around build. She's got the dagger and the short sword, scimitar, halberd, sorcerer's staff. We'll use the sorcerer's staff later, but for now we don't really need anything she has because we don't really have any magic at all whatsoever. So she is pretty much useless right now because the only thing she sells of use is this, and it's 20,000 souls, as you can see.
Ashen One, if my wares are not to thy satis, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
Now those umbral ashes we can find in the game and bring to her, and she'll update her stuff so she'll have more better just stuff all around. She gets another key later too that's helpful. Down here there isn't anybody yet, so no real need to look anything down there, but this guy, ooh, this guy is great. I like this guy. He's my favorite.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith, such is my purpose.
This guy reinforces your Estus once you get Estus shards. Also, a Lot's Estus. This restores FP, this restores HP. So, if you're looking to be a more magic build, you can spend your Estus into different slots for different focus points and such, but I tend to just go all health. I don't use a whole lot of magic. And it also affects your weapons' special abilities, the L2s on weapons and such, like
Pretty.
those. If you look at my FP bar, my stamina and my focus points, the blue and the green, you can see that the blue drops as well as the green. And that would be another thing you'd keep those for. But like I said, I don't use those, so.
Well, 'tis good, wasn't he? Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would. There are two ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down. Infusing weapons with gems.
Yeah, his talk's really just talking about reinforcing weapons and infusing weapons. But we don't really have the stuff to infuse right now. We could've, but we don't, because I don't really see it as a necessity. Well, I mean, I guess you could have used the fire gem, that could have been useful, but we don't. But that's, if you want, there's an enemy that'll drop special stuff if you have fire gem or a fire infused weapon. They're easier to kill, but they drop really good stuff. They drop like a large titanite shard or a titanite shard or something like that. We'll see when we go there. It's the next area, very early in the next area. And if you want to get that stuff, you can either fight them directly, you fight them with a fire weapon, and it'll be a little bit easier, or you can do what I do, and you can just kind of throw fire bombs at them from a small distance away, because, you know, why bother? Laziness rules. Now, as many of you probably know, since this game's been out for a while, there's a secret way up onto this roof here, without dropping down from up there. And it's very difficult, so I'm going to see if I can get this in one shot. If not, I'll just fast forward through my attempts, and I'll see you guys when I get it done. And I'm done. So, yeah, probably didn't cut that out because it was really fast. More homeward bones. In here, though, we're going to get two things. Two very special things. First thing being a Estus shard. Getting an Estus shard right here. So, you know, forest is flasks before we even get to the first area.
You. Me, pickled pea. Me, bumperum.
Now, at this point in the game, you already have two things that you can drop for this. One being a homeward bone. You can drop a homeward bone right here and get some
Pickle me.
collar register and the iron bracelets, which are a part of a special set of armor that I'll be getting. You'll see it, and let's see if any of you can recognize it. I don't know why my sound is glitching like that. Ugh, hiccups. Anyways, yeah, that right there was some Titanite chunks, late game stuff for crafting, upgrading and such. Back here though, hidden wall. Ooh, magical. That's where we get a special chest. What could be in it? Hope it's not a mimic. Covetous silver serpent ring. Ah, the glories of money. Makes you get more souls when you kill things. That's great and useful. Very useful, especially for early game stuff. Anyways, I know this video is really short, but this was just an introduction into the game, showing what's going on, and getting us to Firelink. With that being said, see you guys next time. Bye.